to, why don't we talk about this claim? People say Jesus never said he was God.
Right.
Right. So this is another thing where we talk about context.
Sure.
Right. So the Gospel of Mark. Here's here's why I want to look at the Gospel of Mark. It's because most people say that it's the Gospel of John, which is supposedly the latest gospel.
Sure.
Is the one that really gets Jesus talking about his divinity.
Right.
But if you look at Mark and you
Which is
understand,
the first gospel.
which is the earliest gospel,
Yes.
right, or attributed to be,
Yes.
we get contextually some very strong claims that Jesus claims to be God.
Sure.
Right? So, like, first of all, Jesus does miracles of his own authority throughout the book of Mark. Right? He, referring to himself, talks about the kingdom of heaven being at hand. He forgives sins that are committed against God.
Gets them in trouble. Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
I think this is a part. It's not just he forgives sins.
Right.
He forgives sins against God.
Only God can do that. Yeah.
If I sin against you, the only one that can forgive me is you. Your wife can't forgive me. Your kids can't forgive me. Your friends can't forgive me.
Right.
You have to forgive me.
Right.
How does Jesus forgive somebody of sin committed against God?
Right.
Other than being God.
100%.
Right. And he does so after seemingly reading the minds of, or he does so and then seemingly reads the minds of the people who are
100%, who are like,
questioning.
Who
right?
can do this? Yeah.
Exactly. But why don't we just go straight to Mark 14, 61 through 64, which says, "But he kept silent and did not offer any answer. Again, the high priest was questioning him and said to him, 'Are you the Christ, the Son of the Blessed One?' And Jesus said, 'I am. And you shall see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of power and coming with the clouds of heaven.' Tearing his clothes, the high priest said, what further need do we have of witnesses? You have heard the blasphemy. How does it seem to you?" And they all condemned him as deserving death.
Right.
So multiple things happening here. I think first, when we look at what we said, "Are you the Christ? Are you the Son of the Blessed One?"
Right.
He's asking him, are you on par with God?
God, yeah.
Jesus says, "I am."
Right.
This is what God says to Moses.
Right. Yeah.
I am.
It's his name.
That's his name, right? And then he quotes Daniel and says, "And you shall see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of power and coming with the clouds of heaven."
Right.
This is the end times prophecy about God establishing his kingdom.
Right. And the Messiah. Yes.
And he is, and I am that God.
Yeah.
I am his right hand.
Right.
I am his power. I am his authority. I am all of these things. Right. This is clear, and it's so clear to them in context. It may not make sense to Joe Schmo, who doesn't study this stuff, who doesn't read the Bible, who hasn't cared to understand. But the Pharisees,
they call it blasphemy. Yeah.
They say, this is blasphemy.
Yeah.
They tear their clothes.
Yeah.
They say he is deserving of death for blaspheming. What was his blasphemy? He claimed to be God. Yeah.
They tear their clothes. I love that. They're like, no! And they rip their garments. Yes. But 100% right there. First gospel.
Maybe that's why they couldn't mix their cottons so that their clothes would tear easier.
How can you Hulk Hogan a shirt if it's the whatever that stretchy material is?
Right.
You know?
Probably that's
yeah. But no, the first gospel says it right off the bat.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, arguably, not arguably, the historians say that the Gospel of Mark, which is written, they say penned by Mark, but Peter's sharing the story, you know. So,
But again, the point here is that does Jesus ever say, "Hey, everybody, I'm God"?
Right. No.
I'm a part of the Trinity.
Right.
You know, the word Trinity is never used.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I'm a part of the Trinity. This is how it all works.
Right.
You have to do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
He never approaches it. God doesn't approach hardly anything that way.
He didn't need to because he quotes the scripture that shows I am.
Right.
Yeah. And he says I am. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So again, they understood.
They did.
Because of the context of where they were. Right. And then kind of like what we said before, Jesus could say sexual immorality.
Sure.
And his audience knew everything that entailed. Yeah. Because of the context.
Right.
of the law that they followed. Right.
Which is funny because I think, back to your point on that right there, is I think the reason why God called Paul is because Paul loved making lists.
Yeah.
He was a list maker, man. And so when he talked about sexual immorality, he broke it. I mean, he talked to the orgies. And I mean, like, he took it. I'm like, you're like, whoa, Paul, you're like, we don't need all that, man. Like,
we're going to have to put an E on this episode.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's right. Put an E. Sorry, kids. But yeah, I think that's, again, the Bible is supporting itself.
Yeah.
Here's Jesus and Mark supporting what's already been said by affirming, I am him.